In the small town of Eldridge Hollow, a chilling legend surrounded an abandoned mansion at the edge of the forest. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the old Waverly house, where strange sounds echoed at night and shadows danced in the windows. No one dared to approach it after dark, but curiosity often got the better of the brave or the foolish. One autumn evening, a group of four friends, Sarah, Jake, Lily, and Tom, decided to explore the mansion. They had heard the stories but wanted to see for themselves what lay inside. Armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, they made their way through the overgrown path leading to the decrepit house. As they approached, the moonlight cast eerie shadows on the crumbling walls. The air was thick with a musty smell, and the wind whispered through the trees, creating a haunting melody. "Are you sure about this?" Sarah asked, glancing nervously at her friends. "It's just a house," Jake replied, trying to sound confident. They pushed open the creaky door, which protested loudly as it swung inward. The interior was dark, with dust motes floating in the beams of their flashlights. The once grand foyer was now filled with cobwebs and decay. Old portraits hung on the walls, their subjects' eyes seeming to follow the group as they ventured deeper. "Let's split up," suggested Tom, who was always the thrill seeker. "We'll cover more ground that way." Reluctantly, the group agreed. They decided to meet back in the foyer in an hour. As Sarah explored the dimly lit living room, she felt a chill crawl up her spine. Shadows flickered at the edges of her vision, but when she turned to look, nothing was there. The air felt heavy, almost suffocating. She shook off the feeling, convincing herself it was just her imagination. Meanwhile, Jake wandered into what used to be the library. Dust-covered books lined the shelves, and he pulled one out, curious about its contents. As he opened it, a sudden cold draft swept through the room, causing the pages to flutter. He heard a faint whispering, like a distant conversation just out of reach. "Hello? Is anyone there?" he called, but only silence answered. In the dining room, Lily and Tom were examining the long, dusty table. Lily brushed her fingers over the surface, leaving a trail in the dust. "Do you think anyone ever ate here?" she mused. Just then, a loud crash echoed from the kitchen, making them jump. "What was that?" Tom exclaimed, his bravado wavering. They exchanged uneasy glances and decided to investigate together. As they entered the kitchen, they found nothing but broken dishes on the floor. The air felt colder here, and the whispers grew louder, almost urgent. "We should get back to Sarah and Jake," Lily said, her voice trembling. Back in the living room, Sarah was now on edge. The whispers were growing more distinct, but she couldn't make out the words. Suddenly, she felt a cold hand brush against her shoulder. She spun around, heart racing, but saw only darkness. Panicking, she hurried towards the foyer. Just as she reached the entrance, Jake burst in, his face pale.